Liam, it seems like a lifetime ago since you knocked Chris out in Manchester. Did you think this day was going to come, or this moment was going to come again? It's been that long.
Yeah, I did, obviously. I knew the rematch clause was in place, so I knew I'd have to do it again. So but I'm glad it's here now. I'm glad it's not far away, after the postponement of the last one. So, I'm happy with it.
Obviously, there you mentioned the postponements and the injuries that you picked up. You're over
injury.
Sick
of people saying these injuries. I pulled out of one date and one date only. Like I said, July 1st had nothing to do with me. Was not I pulled out of June 17th with a back injury, and this was the next available date for me.
So obviously July the 1st is something that's been peddled by his camp, basically.
Yeah, no, July 1st got announced, but like I said, July 1st was probably announced off Boxer. On the bit, hoping I'd be ready. I pulled out of one date and one date only.
Obviously, in terms of that injury, you over that now? Have you been back fully fit for a while?
Yeah, I've been back fit. I've been fully sparring, 100%. And like I said, we're wrapping up camp soon. Last tough week of sparring, and then it's fight week.
Is it more difficult this fight because you knocked him out so emphatically in the first one that you've got to kind of go again and prove yourself again, even though you proved to everyone that you were better than him in Manchester?
Not really. Look, I'll beat him any way possible next time round, and I'll take it. If I beat him in 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, or beat him on point, I don't care. As long as it's the Liam Smith win, I move on with my career, and I see what's next. So regardless of anything, I don't need to beat him in better fashion than last time. I just need to beat him again. But Chris seems to think he's going to come for me, come for me at your peril, and I'll knock you out sooner.
Obviously, he's obviously spoken a lot in the build-up to this fight. A lot's been talked about. How difficult is it to switch off from like that trash talking? Because obviously people read a lot into what Chris Eubank's got to say. You say there about the injury, and people saying injuries that's come from his camp. How difficult is it for you not to get embroiled in like a bit of a trash talking war?
Yeah, this time round's been more laughable. He's making a fool of himself more than anything this time round. Blaming referees, blaming elbows, blaming anything he possibly can. This time's been a little bit more light-hearted, a bit different than the last one. So, be interesting to see what it gets like fight week.
Were you ever concerned that this fight might not happen? So obviously, there's a lot of talk about him fighting Conor Ben. Obviously, that kind of was going on amid, the postponement of the first fight and before the rematch was agreed. Was it difficult for you to kind of focus on what was going to, because you weren't 100% sure what was going to happen?
No, it was irrelevant. Like I said, it weren't difficult because if he fought Conor Ben, see you later. Like it was your choice. If you wanted to fight Conor Ben, go and fight Conor Ben. And I feel he probably did want to fight Conor Ben, but the Conor Ben situation was not wrapped up their end, with the drug test and things. So I feel it was not plain sailing. He went clear to fight. Otherwise, I think Chris would have fought him. He fights Conor Ben in a probably an easier fight for himself for more money. So I feel he did want to fight Conor next, but that weren't available. So he has to take the rematch clause. In
terms of your training camp for this one, is it just been a case of exactly what he's done for the first fight, because you were so emphatic that night?
Yeah, near enough. I said before the last fight, I train to the best of my own ability, and I'll alternate little things what I feel will work towards Chris, sparring partners, pad work, whatever else. But I'm not going to change too much because why change what's not broken?
You've been working with Joe now. It seems like you're really reaping the benefits from working with Joe, and the close relationship that you've got is shown in these fights.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously, I think people don't know with Joe and Declan that they're basically family to me. They've been family. I've known them my whole life. Mums were best mates when they were younger. I've known them the whole life, and holidays away with them when I was 7, 8 years of age. They followed me for years as friends and family. And then obviously, Joseph, I was in the same pro camp as Joseph. We were in the same amateur gym. Joseph and Declan both boxed amateurs. So I've been around them my whole life, and like I said, they followed me all as fans and family. And now, I've ended up with them. And again, like I said, they know me as good as anybody, so they're reaping the rewards now. Obviously,
some stable at Joe is building as well, isn't it? Because obviously you were kind of the first high-profile fighter to join him, but you look now of what's happened over the last few years, it's some stable that he's got working under him.
It is, yeah, obviously. Like I said, again, it's like, it's not sound like I'm bigging myself up too much, but once people see what you just said before, kind of a high-profile boxer go to them, think, oh, well, if he's good enough to go there, they must be good coaches. They have a look, and then that's down to Joseph and Declan. Then once people come here for a trial, they see how good coaches they are, and they stay. And everybody who's come for a trial, what I know of, has not left. You know what I mean? Josh Taylor comes down, had a week or two. He had a few weeks, Josh. Loved it, stayed. Kevin, obviously JJ's been with Joseph before. Like I said, Gary Cully comes down, loved it, stayed. Everybody who's come has thought, yeah, good coaches, very good coaches, boss atmosphere in the gym, and stayed. So that speaks volumes of Joseph and Declan rather than, you know, anybody else.
Obviously, you know, in terms after the first fight, you were quite vocal in wanting to fight around fields, and the summit didn't happen. Do you have to? It's almost like you've got to keep winning, or need to keep that dream alive, because one setback could derail that dream completely. Yeah,
definitely. Like I said, I beat Chris. I think my next one maybe could be at Anfield. I feel there'll definitely be a fight at Anfield next year, whether it's me or Callum or anybody else. I think it's just unfortunate. Unfortunate this year the Anfield Road work stopped that, because look, Anfield, Liverpool, I'm mad for a fight at that. There'll be a show at Anfield next year, definitely, whether it's boxing, whether it's the UFC. We'll get an event there next year. But, you know, fingers crossed, I beat Chris. I could delay my next one till then.
Yeah, obviously in terms of, you know, if you were to fight at Anfield, have you got anyone in mind who you'd like to fight? Cause obviously last time Golovkin was mentioned as a possible Anfield opponent, stuff like that. Is there anyone who you've got in the back of your mind?
Look, I think any fight, what next probably sells well there. You know, if it's me and Conor Ben, we sell well there. If it's me and Brook, we sell well there. You know, Callum beats Bertobiev, Callum defends world titles there. I think any fight that goes there now is going to sell well, because people in the city, people are desperate for a fight at Anfield, and you know, we run an event there, so you know, fingers crossed we're on, and it's around us.
Obviously, you know, before the first fight there was a lot of talk about the weight and you making weight, stuff like that, but you made it with ease and you looked quite comfortable in the ring, and if anything, it was Chris who looked a bit more like he was a bit broken. Did you think that that's destroyed that myth now of, like, you know, the talk of the weight? What was it that was around before the first fight?
Yeah, obviously, you know, there was a lot about Chris making weight, about me fighting at middleweight, and you know, all that. But again, I proved I'm as good at middle as I am at light middle, and like I said, Chris has got to look at his own thing. If Chris struggled with weight, stop putting KFC pictures of yourself eating KFC up then, you know, if that's the case. But like I said, what Chris does making weight is irrelevant to me. What Chris does in the gym with whoever he wants to be with is irrelevant to me. If I train behind closed doors, the best of my ability, then I'm confident of beating Chris.
Obviously, you know, in terms of that night at the AO Arena, I was there, and the atmosphere was electric, but the support you had was absolutely off the scale. And you know, Chris coming to boos and you coming to cheers, and even though it was in Manchester, it was very much like you was the home fighter. Yeah, definitely. Look, I said, take football rivalries aside, Manchester's as good as home for me in a boxing sense. I have had my biggest and best nights in Manchester Arena. I become world champion there after defending my British title there. I beat Chris there, I beat Chris again there. The crowd was unbelievable there, and I'm pretty sure it'll be the same again this time round. Obviously, you know, it's been a bit of a boxing boom for Merseyside as well. You know, Callum's fight was unfortunately postponed, but Natasha winning recently. Do you want to carry on that trend of, you know, making sure Merseyside boxing stays on the map, because it's a hotbed for the sport, isn't it? Yeah, badly, definitely. You know, we as much as it sounds, you know, cliche, I want to kind of still be at the forefront of the people coming through. You know, people, all the young fighters now, the prospects coming through now, the people breaking on the scene now, they're wanting to stop bills at Manchester Arena, wanting to get the Anfield gig. You know what I mean? And obviously they're seeing me do it, Callum do it, Tasha doing it, other people doing it. It just thinks, you know, success breeds success, and it is cliche, and it is, you know, but it's true. There's no truer saying. So for them to see us doing it is great for them, and like I said, I want to keep better than Callum. I want to keep better than Sasha, or catch Sasha, or catch Callum. You know, it's just healthy rivalry, what we've all got, but that rivalry is bringing the city further and further up. Have you still got your eyes on a world title shot then, you know, because obviously you're probably at that point in your career now where people might say, do you look at a world title shot, or do you look at the big fights that don't necessarily bring a world title shot, but have you still got your eyes on a world title shot? Yeah, of course. I bite your hands off for a world title again, and I didn't cherish my world title last time round. I was a bit of a rag ass and didn't really know what it meant. I'd bite your hand off the challenge again and to be a two-time world champion. But like I said,
world titles fights, bring big money, or just give me any of the big fights. But I want to be in big fights that get me off the couch. And you know, I'm 35 now, so I need to have some sort of big fight or fear in me to keep getting the shape of getting at this stage of my career. I've been pro a long time.
You say there about, you know, being a bit of a rag arse. Does that give you that little bit of extra motivation for these fights and for any fight that you're going to now, because you've been there, but you didn't quite appreciate it, you want to get that bit again?
That's what I mean by it.
Make sure that you do appreciate what you achieved.
Definitely, that's what I mean. I don't mean like I had nothing. I mean, I just, like I said, I was world champion, still play footy next day and stuff like that. My world title belt was on top of my mum's washing basket. Like, you know, it's huge, and I never ever cherished it as much as I should have. I don't know. I didn't realise how big it was at the time, being world champion, and because I was just a young one of the lads. I really didn't cherish being world champion as much as I should have.
Obviously, you know, you say there about Sunday League football. If you get the win, a week Saturday, will you be out on Sunday morning?
Yeah, I'll still probably be there, mate. Whether I play or not is a different story, but I will most definitely be there, yeah.
Obviously, you just want to finish up away from yourself. Obviously, you managed young Frankie.
Yeah.
He's back in the ring on that night. I was at his last fight in April. It was a tough night for him. I think, you know, he's an experienced pro. How do you see his development? How do you see he's going?
Yeah, it's developing very well. I feel like, you know, the last time out, it was a tough one for him. Only on the basis of, I thought he started very well and then rolled his ankle, obviously.
Yeah, like the ring as well.
He was on after the main event, but, you know, rolled his ankle, got counted as a knockdown, and then, you know, his ankle was gone, and his ligaments in his ankle went in the fight. So, yeah, but look, doing everything right in the gym, getting better as a pro, and starting to get his man strength now too, so I'm excited about him.
Is that something that you look to pursue a bit more of if once you know the day comes in, like maybe managing young boxers and making sure that they're on the right path?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's quite simple now for me and Frankie, because obviously Frankie comes, whatever I do, he comes along with me. But like I said, once my career's wrapped up, I'll go into it a little bit more, and I'll be able to push fighters a little bit more.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much.
Thank you.